This was the moment he'd long dreamt of, the reins of power in his hands, a divisive figure now leading a divided country. On the steps of his new home, there was a rallying cry to deliver the most divisive issue of all, Brexit, deal or no deal.
And so I am standing before you today to tell you, the British people, that those critics are wrong. The doubters, the doomsters, the gloomsters, they are going to get it wrong again. The people who bet against Britain are going to lose their shirts because we're going to restore trust in our democracy. And we're going to fulfill the repeated promises of Parliament to the people and come out of the EU on October the 31st. No ifs or buts.
And for the wider country, he promised spending to improve policing, education and other public services. It was typical Johnson, full of rhetorical flourishes and a distinct change of style from what has gone before.
Never mind the backstop, the buck stops here. And I will tell you something else about my job. It is to be Prime Minister of the whole United Kingdom. And that means uniting our country, answering at last the plea of the forgotten people and the left-behind towns.
Earlier, he'd been driven to Buckingham Palace to see the Queen, his journey briefly disrupted by climate protesters. He went in just after Theresa May had tendered her resignation.
Can I just say,
she'd faced her final Prime Minister's questions to a packed House of Commons, her last chance to go head-to-head with the Labour Party's Jeremy Corbyn. There were the usual policy disagreements, but also this parting shot.
as a party leader who has accepted when her time was up, perhaps the time is now for him to do the same.
Theresa May will now take a backseat role as an ordinary MP. Not many will begrudge her a less demanding position. The new team will be led by Brexit true believers.
EU leaders in Brussels will have heard Prime Minister Johnson's opening statement with growing trepidation. He seems determined to demand a new deal, and his threats to leave without one are beginning to look real enough. But just as before, his room for manoeuvre is limited by the parliamentary mathematics in this place. MPs are already lining up to box him in. Simon McGregor Wood, TRT World in Westminster.